Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
I'm Karl Stout.
I'm Rebecca.
Yay!
I still haven't decided who goes first yet.
No.
There's always a pause.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
We're the trifecta.
Yeah. So, I'm back from my overseas adventures, which means, yay, more episodes. And I was back just in time for a new issue to drop as well. In fact, this issue is the conclusion to the Sabretooth Round 2 arc, although it's pretty much stopped being about Sabretooth at this point.
Yeah.
So, may as well not be called that. But whatever. Is there any news about Iron Fist that I might have missed?
Season 2 is shooting right now in New York.
Cool.
Will it though? We will have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Will he finally have abs?
He doesn't need abs.
No. And he does have abs,
Like-
it's just how defined they are.
I mean, have you seen, like, monks? They don't really have abs. And that's
True.
pretty much where he was. That being said, yeah, abs would be cool. But that was the whole thing. People were like, oh, he doesn't look physique enough. I'm like, well, actually, he does look like, you know, he does look like a monk who just practices. You know, he doesn't go to the gym or anything. But whatever. I will, lots of umming and ahhing today. It's fantastic.
It's alright,
So,
we're out of practice to having all three of us
Yes.
together, so.
Damnation is coming out soon.
Hooray!
The
Yeah.
big crossover event, Doctor Strange and stuff. And this podcast will be crossing over with a bunch of other podcasts, specifically the Defenders TV podcast, which is not the podcast that me and Rebecca have been on. It's another Defenders TV podcast.
Yeah.
And
What?
the Ghost...
They have
Oh, we've
someone
lost
who's a-
Carl.
No, they have
There's
someone who's
multiple
they have,
Defenders podcasts.
yeah, there are. Of course, there are. But they have someone who's a very big Doctor Strange fan, and because there's not a Doctor Strange podcast,
Yeah,
they're
because
sort of stepping in to cover that.
we were gathering all these podcasts together, except we didn't have one for, like, the main character of the event. So that was a bit... It's like, well, we need a Doctor Strange fan in there.
Yeah.
Not that we aren't Doctor Strange
No,
fans, but we're not as knowledgeable.
Exactly.
But, yes, we also have the Inner Demons Ghost Rider podcast. Yes, there is a Ghost Rider podcast, which
And they're awesome.
soothed my mind. They are. And obviously, the guys who've easily probably put the most of the work into this crossover event is the Into the Night Moon Knight podcast. So we'll be crossing over with those guys. We won't be guesting on each other's shows, maybe, probably not because of schedules, etc. But we will be covering an issue of Damnation each. So we will be covering the first issue, and then we will direct you to the podcast who covers the second issue, and it'll go from there. And we will obviously be covering the Iron Fist issue that ties into Damnation as well. So yes, exciting news, and there's even like a little motion poster trailer for it,
Which we'll put up, yeah.
which our logo looks awful because all the other logos are modern, and ours is like a 70s logo.
But Iron
so-
Fisty though, so we're good. We're good.
Oh yeah, we're good. I'm not going to sacrifice my logo just so it can look spiffy. It's an amazing logo. Anyway, that's all the news I had.
Yeah, I think the preview's out for the first Iron Fist Damnation tie-in.
Okay.
A non-text version, so I guess that's news. But it doesn't say much, but it looks so cool.
Okay.
I
Cool.
will post
I
it
guess-
to the page.
Yay, because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yep. Excellent. Awesome. Yes. I had Just deciding if I should go into certain things or not, but I won't. So
What?
I was just going to mention that I read an issue
Are
of
you a new
Thanos.
man now that you've been to Japan?
Well, no, I read an issue of Thanos, and that's like big for me. I never read
Good, right?
comics that I have no interest in. Yeah, that issue is good.
Yeah.
Issue 11 of Thanos. So, see, I read other things besides Iron Fist in Marvel sometimes.
Wasn't reading Marvel. I read Young Monsters in Love from DC, which is a very depressing comic book. But the Dead Man story is excellent.
The Dead Man story was amazing.
Yes. And I was catching up on Rasputin from Dark Horse, which has been very good so far. There's only one issue left.
Oh,
But more of a backstory before Hellboy. Young professor helping the British.
God, I love Hellboy. Speaking of, putting a call out because there's no Hellboy podcast and there's just never been a Hellboy podcast. I want to start one, so if anyone's interested in Hellboy, hit me up. Because, if anyone's a super Hellboy fan, and I want you to be smarter than me, though. That's the requirement, because, just be smarter than me, please. It's not too hard. You'll be fine. But, Hellboy needs love. And I love Hellboy. And I need to do a reread through, because, I mean, how hard is it to keep track of everything that's happened in that series, you know? It's crazy.
Well,
like, it's
the
all
biggest problem
connected.
with Hellboy is it jumps back and forth constantly in the timeline.
Exactly, yeah. But what comics have you been reading lately, Rebecca? Anything interesting?
I've been enjoying Doctor Strange and Thanos. The Donny Cates arrival at Marvel, both of them excellent. Doctor Strange with Loki. Doctor Strange is no longer Sorcerer Supreme in it, so...
Who is?
Loki.
Oh.
But he probably will be by the end of the arc. Or
well, with what just happened recently,
right.
Who knows what's going to happen? And I'm not going to say what it was, but oof.
Black Bolt, still one of my top Marvel comics. Really loving it. And
cool.
I started reading Transformers. And I'm
Is that Marvel?
Fan. No.
Oh.
Just going little diversion away from Marvel into Transformers, and it's excellent.
Fair enough. Like Karl, I have also not been reading Marvel besides Iron Fist. I just knocked off a 900-page Luke Skywalker omnibus. Actually, that has a lot of Marvel stuff in there, so technically I have read some Marvel, but it's like 7.
Is it the Marvel issues?
There is a couple in there. I love how dramatic the covers are for stuff. We'll talk about it later. But anyway, so yes, today's
Speaking of dramatic covers, issue 77. Am I the only one that feels that this cover was a little bit rushed after he finished that dragon head?
I don't know. It seems fairly in keeping with many of his others.
Maybe it's the ponytail.
Maybe. Oh, that is a bit blurry, yeah.
Yep, he ruined another cover for me. Thanks, Karl. He specialises at ruining the covers of this run.
Well, Jeff DeCal's coming to Thought Bubble this year, so I hope to get a few covers signed by him.
All of them, not a few, all of them.
I'm not taking all of them.
We all know Karl will take all of them.
We all know Karl will take all of them.
You both can shut up.
Karl, where's my poster?
It's in a box right next to Rebecca's stuff. And now that you've mentioned it one more time, I will be posting a video on the page of me lighting on fire. Like I said I would.
Wow. I don't remember this conversation, but whatever. You kids and your... whatever.
Alright, so in this cover, Iron Fist gets in a fight with the Benihana chef.
Otherwise known as Choshin.
With his little chef knives.
That's right.
And there's like a big Xiaolao silhouette sort of thing. Like you see its head, and then it just turns into like a bit of a fat blob behind it. But I like the cover. I think it's cool.
It's good. It's just a little, I don't know, the shading on the neck, the plume ponytail. It looks like he started working on the dragon, got down the Iron Fist, and went like, oh crap, this has got to be done in 2 days.
There's not much going on compared to, like, especially in the background. The background's pretty much just blank compared to the other comics. But I don't know. I think it's okay. At least Iron Fist doesn't have like a weird mustache.
No, and I like his yelly face. His like kind of
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It looks fairly dynamic. So
he's saying, I ordered the lo mein.
Yeah, he's fighting with the chef of the restaurant.
The chef is like, you're going to get beef and broccoli and like it.
So I'll probably read out the recap since it's a month between these issues, just get people up to speed. Daniel Rand was orphaned in the mystical city of Kun Lun as a child. There he grew up to conquer a series of trials to become the Iron Fist, Kun Lun's chief field defender of the innocent. Kun Lun has been invaded again. The endgame of a long-term plan, former resident Choshin has stolen the Book of the Iron Fist from Danny Rand to open a portal and lead his troops in a hostile takeover of the Heavenly City. Danny partnered up with Sabretooth, followed them through the portal to find his enemy's forces overrunning the home he swore to protect. But, as Choshin faces off with Sparrow, the leader of Kun Lun, Iron Fist made a shocking move. He grabbed the book and left! At the end of the last issue, he teleported out of there, and Choshin's like, haha, he ran away, blah, blah, blah. We have Ed Brisson as the writer, Mike Perkins as the artist, Andy Troy as the color artist, VC's Travis Lanham as letterer, and Jeff DeCarl as the cover artist. Now, actually, while we're here, this news is a bit old, but we should mention that Mike Perkins is leaving after this issue, right?
yes.
Yeah, so that is a real shame. Do we know who he's being replaced by?
I posted it to the group, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's in the letter page. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
It is Damien Couceiro.
Oh, nice.
Couceiro? I don't know. I'm going to
There's a pronunciation for us to get right before the next time we talk about him.
Couceiro. Couceiro?
It will be something like that, yeah.
Let me just snoop his art.
Couceiro.
Hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good artist.
Thought we were going like a...
No, he seems pretty good. And he's worked with Ed Brisson on something else, so Ed asked for him.
He looked like this. Yeah. Oh, he has a DeviantArt page? Cool.
Yeah, he said he's worked on projects with him going back to 2004, 2005. He did the first pitch that Brisson ever did. And when I heard Mike would be leaving Iron Fist, I immediately pitched him. He was very receptive. So he's doing the Damnation crossovers. So
excellent.
See it pretty soon. So like I said, I'll post up the images from the interview and get a first taste of him drawing.
Cool. So we come to the first page of the issue, and we have Choshin with his flaming kitchen knives squaring off against Sparrow.
Yeah, we never, and we don't at the end of this issue either, we never really find out what his little chi power is, other than making flashy fireworks. It's never discussed.
I guess he got it from the book or the hand, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't even care. I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
He can just go die in a hole. So he's giving his, he's run away, you're in shambles, give up. Even though I've been getting my ass kicked every single time when I fought
by
someone.
Everyone.
Yeah. He's not threatening at all. and then they start fighting, which is a cool page.
Yeah.
They get a couple of hits in on each other.
Is it just me, or on that first page of the big fight, his left blade is like sunk into her leg like 3 inches?
I don't know about 3 inches, but it's definitely in her leg, yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten a few licks in with that, and he gets one in her back, and when she falls over, all of his groupies jump her.
Yeah, they're kicking the crap out of her.
And
she makes a comment.
She's like, really?
This is how you fight. First you claim that women aren't even your equal, yet your men don't seem to think you can beat me on your own. Stand back and leave her for me. Then we cut the Sabretooth. Thump.
Yeah, Sabretooth fighting
our
the rat.
favourite.
Yeah. Much more interesting fight because Choshin's not in it. So... then he gets knocked
up.
He gets knocked into a house and he sees, 2 kids there, and he immediately just tries to eat them.
Yeah.
He's like, forgets about the fight, and he's just like, more morsels.
I don't know how he survived on the island, because, he is really trying to eat his way through Kun Lun.
I guess he ate that whole village.
Yeah,
maybe people are sending him snacks now and then.
Yeah.
I think his trainer was.
Yeah.
The guy who trained him.
He was in a pretty bad way on Lucy, so...
And
Sabretooth I ain't done beating your ass yet, rat.
Is he just turned into Wolverine at this point?
Pretty much.
The point to your chin.
Yes. And kids get out, not safe. They start fighting. All the artwork's really good.
Yeah.
By the way, the interior art makes up for the cover.
No, rat.
Like that first page.
Very interesting maneuver here.
Oh yeah, he summons
summons his sickness.
Yeah. And sort of
he's waited years to be free of my prison. You will not stop me.
Forces it into all of Sabretooth's his eyes, ears, mouth.
It's like a swarm of bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we cut back to Kun Lun, kind of on fire again. All of Choshin's soldiers are like, lay down your weapons, you are outnumbered, outclassed. Any who try to resist will be struck down, but we are here to save you. Save Kun Lun, resurrect her to her previous, and then boom, they all go up in flame, and Danny comes in riding Xiao Lao, who I'm assuming he got from his apartment.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where he went on to.
It's not a Carrie Andrews thing where the first ever Xiao Lao just shows up out of nowhere, middle of the issue with no setup.
Shh.
We'll get to that.
Let's carry on. Shulu, he's looking.
Carry on.
She's looking pretty. Dragon's looking pretty cool. Pretty grown up as
Dragon
well.
looks awesome.
Good dragon.
There's
the people are excited. Xiao Lao has returned to us. And the rat's like, what?
Shouldn't. I know it's going in. Oh, there it is. I thought Xiao Lao didn't have the brand for a second. But
it's there.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Okay. So now he's like burning everyone, which is awesome. And Sparrow's like, looks like you were mistaken, Choshin. Our Iron Fist does not run. She has like a little smile on her face, which I find funny for some reason.
She's got the white ass smirk. And now Xiao Lao turned as
well, he's never ran out of cowardice.
No.
He's just run because of hatred.
Yeah. Because he had
kind of different.
Yeah, exactly. He's never been a coward.
He had business.
Yeah.
Then all the villagers, citizens, like start picking up just tools and stuff and fighting back. And this dude here just hits this soldier in the head with a shovel, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All villagers start kicking the crap out of these soldiers, which is great. Then Sabretooth is fighting the rat again, and the rat keeps trying to plague all over him, but Sabretooth just keeps throwing it up because he's immune to disease, because, well, he has that pesky healing factor.
Now, here's my question.
Mhm.
What exactly does Sabretooth have now? Does he have an adamantium lace skeleton now? Because at one point he did. Because it was getting ridiculous there for a while.
I mean,
I don't know.
Guy
I've lost
started
track
with
of
no
him.
powers whatsoever, wasn't a mutant, then magically got a healing power, then was surgically enhanced with, I believe, adamantium fingernails, and then it changed to a whole skeleton just like Wolverine.
I lost track of him after he died. You know, I remember when he got his head cut off by the sword.
I've never
Like,
really paid attention to what Sabretooth has.
I mean, I think we're just supposed to assume he is, like, yeah, healing factor, jumping around, mutant strength, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if he has adamantium. They haven't brought it up. So I'm assuming he doesn't. Otherwise, they probably would have brought it up.
Mhm.
He would have said, I have adamantium claws now. You are no match for me. But, yeah.
So he's upset that Rite of 12 Plagues made him puke. And he hates puking as he jumps at him. And then we cut to Danny parking the dragon and saying, I'll be right back. And then he's
I'm sure he
inside
said it in a
temple.
Terminator voice. Danny,
I'll
come
be
on,
back.
I'll be back.
Oh, so he's going to kill Shao Lao again?
No, not yet. I don't know. No.
No,
Let's
you
say
won't.
no.
So he strolls into...
The Choshin Sparrow fight.
Yeah. And there's an interesting thing happening with Danny's shirt here. He's got the V-line that his old costume used to have, but it's lining up with the logo on the tracksuit, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
There's like an actual point and design to that shirt tear this time. So, yeah. And, yeah, Choshin's like, hey, I brought a dragon, so he'll roast all of you, and Choshin's like,
drag.
Choshin's saying the usual stuff. Is this how you hope to get out of this fight, with fireworks and a lizard? You're not scary, man.
No, he's beaten you
No
before.
one cares.
Look like the maitre d' of a restaurant. Shut up.
He got beaten by drunk, depressed Danny. Like,
Yeah. You're gonna get beaten by the chi-infused Danny.
yeah, and Danny looks awesome here. Like, all this artwork is really good. And I love the way Sparrow's drawn as well.
Mhm.
And Danny
And
says he isn't looking to get out the
fight.
fight. Just want you to know what's gonna happen after I kick your ass.
Sparrow's over in the corner looking a little perturbed, like, mm-hmm. And then Danny goes right into grovel mode. Oh, Sparrow, I apologize for everything. This is my mess. Chosen is my mess. Please let me fix it.
I wouldn't say he's in
Sparrow's like-
grovel mode.
He said he apologized 3 times and said, please let me fix it. That's groveling.
It's not groveling. She's the
He doesn't
UT,
look like he's groveling,
and he's
though.
the Iron Fist, and he's treating her with the respect her position demands.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, let me clean up my mess.
I don't
He's
see him
saying it like-
apologizing 3 times either. He says, I apologize for everything. That's not 3 times.
Yeah.
This is my
And
mess. Chosen is my mess.
That's
I see
not an
those as
apology.
2 more.
That's not apologizing.
One apology. And Choshin
He's
is
justifying
his
why he should be the one to fight Choshin, because it's his problem. You know, he's
Well,
on
she
his
apparently
board.
agrees with him.
Yeah. And she's like, as the Iron Fist, your responsibility is to protect. As UT, my responsibility is to lead the people. My people need me to lead them against Choshin's army. And then dealt with the rat. Sabretooth walks in. The Rat of 12 Plagues is there. I hope he's not dead. We didn't see him die, so...
He seems to have him by the shoulder, right? He's dragged him in, so probably not dead.
I mean, it doesn't make sense that Sabretooth wouldn't kill him, but I want the rat to stick around, so...
And then we have an introduction. Sabretooth, Sparrow, Sparrow, Sabretooth. Am I interrupting something? Sabretooth asks. And then Sparrow whispers into Danny's ear, end Choshin. Finish
I
him.
love that.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like, kill this dude.
Yeah.
Just make
And
sure
then
he's
she
not
just walks
wrong.
past Sabretooth, and she's like, "You with me. We're going to finish this now."
Yeah, I'd see, this makes sense. Like, yeah, kill him because he's invaded. You know,
Yeah.
he's just too dangerous to be alive. Like, he should have died a few times before this, but... Yeah, so... Anyway, Sabretooth goes to Sparrow and they run off. Danny... he's... a sad day when an Ironcus has to ask one perdition to fight. Does she make you clean her chambers as well? Zing!
Such bigots. Come on,
He's
Daddy,
so
beat
annoying.
him.
God, he's just like, he's a walking hypocrite, and he's a little bitch. There, I said it. Like, he's just a little chicken shit. Like, he's such a worm.
The important
But,
part of that panel is there's a very nice Iron Fist butt shot.
I guess.
Just to take it back to,
Yeah. And,
Just like the butt dimples.
Danny's like, can you send your men away? This is between you and me. And Choshin's like, you don't trust that we'll afford you a fair fight? And Danny just goes, not even a little. It's like... So, Choshin is like, very well, sends men away. This guy is delusional. He actually thinks he can win this fight. Like, he actually thinks he can succeed here. It just boggles my mind. Like, he's... Yeah, whatever. I have kitchen knives now, so I'll get him this time.
And he says, once I've slaughtered you, I'll slaughter that dragon, and the mantle Iron Fist will be for me. You've disgraced the holy city for too long. And he's like, only the worthy may face Shao Lao. And you, Choshin, are far from worthy. We shall
Alphonse
see.
is more worthy than Choshin.
Yeah.
And so they start fighting, and I love how... Yeah, I think Danny gets hit a couple of times, but he does not get hit much at all. It's mostly just Danny kicking the crap out of
Yeah.
Choshin in this 2-page spread, like, just...
And
Yeah,
he does a Glasgow kiss. Amazing. Headbutt. For anyone not in the know.
Oh,
So-
what does he do? He does the...
He does the ancient attack
Chip food.
impediment.
Backward
Impediment.
technique.
I think that's like a counter attack.
Rising grasshopper kick, which is a backflip thing. And then the Glasgow kiss was the headbutt.
Yeah.
There's more
yeah,
moves in
it's
there. Those are just the ones that are highlighted. And he
It's
disarms
another
it.
2 pages, and yeah, Danny disarms him and throws the knives away. And Choshin's like, "You're a fool to discard those blades. A fighter should never give up his advantage." He's like, "Well, Danny's already at an advantage because you're on the ground."
He's lost
And
the
Danny
sleeve
goes
as
to-
well, Danny. Just
Yes.
Yeah. The people of Li Shui have been welcomed back into Kun Lun if they just come home earnestly and honestly. You keep talking about returning Kun Lun to her past glory, dragging this city, my home, back to what it once was. You can't see that the reason it currently lies in ruins, the thing that is destroying the city and has been since before I ever set foot here, is men like you. And that's true.
Yep.
Like, he's acting like Danny's just brought the city down. It's like, well, no, it was, like, really corrupt. Forever.
Mhm.
You may have won
Very
this fight,
powerful.
Iron Fist, but I will be back. And he starts running away again. And best panel of the issue.
This is the best
As he's
panel of the
exiting,
week.
he says, I shall be Chomp.
I was like, please don't let him just run away again.
Yeah, I know,
and
me
then he
too.
gets devoured by
Straight
Shao.
into Shalow's mouth.
So he's dead. Thank God.
You see, and this is
Yeah, and
the
he
kind of
says, "I
this is
guess
the
I
kind of
forgot to
sassy
feed
Danny
you."
I like. When he goes, I have my doubts about you getting back, and yeah, I guess I forget to feed you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good
It's a good
Danny.
sass.
He's been
yeah.
less quippy these past 2 issues.
He's been
I think.
quippy just enough to show that he's like he realizes the ridiculous of some of the situations, but not doing that whole Spidey,
Yeah.
over the top.
Pretty much. And
Now he's
Danny's
talking
like,
to the dragon, which is cool.
I forgot to feed you.
It's the best.
And now he's riding the dragon into Kun Lun and just burning the soldiers everywhere. Dragon has pretty good aim, I guess. And he's got his fist lit up, which I find funny. It's like a big beacon or a torch that he's waving. It's great.
Oh,
And
we can't actually see it, but he's throwing the middle finger.
He's summoning chi lightning and he's going to strike people down.
It's a beautiful set of panels because you've got
It is.
Sparrow leading the people, Sabretooth kicking butts, and then Shallow unleashing flame and doing the rest of the job, but obviously not hitting Sparrow or Sabretooth.
Right. Death from above.
Yeah.
So after that we have later. I'm sorry, Sparrow. If I hadn't let Choshin here, none of this would have happened. And then Sparrow goes, you're wrong. It would have happened eventually. Choshin was coming regardless. And after what we've seen of Choshin, I agree with that.
Yeah.
He was always going to come here. With or without Danny.
Right, because if you couldn't have got the book, they would have just waited for the portal to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so and she's pretty much like, yeah, we're trying to change the way the city works, and people are always going to fight that. Which is, I mean, you've had crazies from the outside fighting it, but that's about it. I guess, yeah, unless the one robot counts, but that was rip Lei Kung.
And Sparrow even says that there's no doubt they're going to face further challenges, but for now they're going to focus on rebuilding.
Hooray! Finally.
Well, they comment on that in the letter page also. If you guys didn't read the letter page,
Yeah.
I did.
on the rebuilding part.
Okay.
And then they go see Sabretooth, and she thanks him for the help, and he said he's happy to knock heads for a good cause, but he's got to get back to his own place because he wants to check on his friend's kid in the hospital.
Yeah. At that point, I think Wolverine should pop out of the ground and just go, do you know some of the things this guy's done?
Oh.
So, and Danny says, I'll be back soon, because he's going to put the
portal,
book back. I don't know. But, I mean, he can make a portal to Kun Lun now, Which is like, okay, yeah, you may as well do it, especially if they're doing this rebuilding Kun Lun thing with a new leader, because we want to see more of that, obviously. And it just doesn't make sense for Danny to live in New York and not Kun Lun. But if he can go back and forth, it just solves that problem.
Yeah.
Only him, though. No one else should be able to just go back and forth. But yeah.
Well, Doctor Strange should be able to hop back and forth without a problem.
Yeah, but that's Doctor Strange, though. That's like cheating. He can do
that was my other thing. I'm just like, Danny knows Doctor Strange. Danny could go back to Kun Lun anytime he wanted to just by saying, hey, Steven.
Doctor Strange has been a bit out of sorts, though, for the last year or two.
Well, yeah, now. But I'm saying there's been 40 years of this, you know.
If you think about it, that's when you go like, well, why doesn't X just call X to help them beat up this guy? And it's just and one of my favorite bits, and it was like I think it was in the early Stan Lee Spider-Man run, is like there's two vultures tearing it up, and he has a cold. And he's like, I'm going to call Daredevil to handle this.
Yeah.
No, I'll do it. Just because he had a cold. So and then he nearly died. So that was pretty funny. But yes, so Sparrow says, Danny's like, I'll be back soon. And Sparrow's like, we'll be here thanks to you. And there's a smile on Danny's face.
She gets to smile, bless.
And although it is funny how it goes next, straight to hell.
Love that. That made me laugh so hard. Next, straight to hell. It's like, what more setup do we need for Damnation, really?
Can I just say it's really lovely that we actually get, hey Danny, thanks for saving the day.
Yeah.
You protected Kun Lun, good job. Like, has that ever happened?
No, I loved the end. I loved it. It was like, it felt so right. Sparrow saying we're going to rebuild now, thank God. She thanks Sabretooth. She thanks Danny. Danny gets to smile. He goes, you know, he's not running from anyone now. He's just going to go and, like, probably put the book away. And I guess Xiao Lao's staying in Kun Lun. That would make a lot of sense.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he does have a cave there, so it's
Yeah,
not like he doesn't have a
there's a
place to
limit to
park
how
it.
much. Well, there's a limit to how much Danny can look after him and keep feeding him.
Right.
In New York. So it kind of, I think this is probably, well, this is Ed Brisson getting us to a point where we can use Danny again without all of this. Why aren't you off fixing Kun Lun? All the stuff we complained about at the beginning of the
Danny
run.
can be the Iron Fist now,
Yeah.
but the actual Iron Fist, the protector of Kun Lun, and he's finally fulfilled that role. And it just feels really good.
It's taken away a lot of that angst about why was I a lousy Iron Fist because he's just done this good thing and blah blah blah. So
he's not a lousy Iron Fist. He saved Kun Lun. Everyone's happy. He did his job. That's what the Iron Fist does: is stop stuff like this. And yeah, it feels really good. I think the last time something like that happened would have been in Immortal Iron Fist, which was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they thanked him that much because it was all weird and political. So yeah, it feels like a bookend.
Yeah.
Danny, this actually feels like a pretty big milestone in Danny's character, not just in his run, but for, everything. I felt like this is a pretty big milestone, and it's really good to finally get to this milestone because we can finally see Danny start being a hero without, he can finally stop being the screw-up Iron Fist.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so nice.
Yeah.
And if you did want to have him in a position where he can train Pei, it's a really good position he's in now. If Ed Brisson brings her back and whatever, if we kind of ignore the Immortal Iron Fist thing. Yeah.
I think unfortunately that's what's going to happen.
Burning.
No, I think it's going to happen. I think it took Ed 10 issues to try to fix what Karl Andrews did. This is how I see it.
Wait, so the way maybe he trains, maybe Immortal Iron Fists happens after this.
Maybe.
Because it would. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't make any sense because Shao was really small in that run. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's. Why do you think this fixed what Carrie Andrews did? What did what did Carrie Andrews do?
Think about it. Karl Andrews is the one who destroyed Kun Lun.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Living Weapon.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good follow-up to Living Weapon, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like this is a better sequel than Immortal Iron Fist was
For
to that.
sure.
Yeah, that was just Pei's story. Let's be honest. That book was based on her.
It was, but I think Danny got it. I'd still say it was about both of them.
It was about both of them. It was about Danny developing in a different way. Developing as a mentor and kind of semi-dad.
I guess it just leaves a bad taste because it shit the bed so much in the last couple of issues. Because we didn't really get a good resolution or anything. But it started off well. And it was nice to see that while it happened. It just got really bizarre and rushed. But we're here to talk about this, which is a good issue. So, so how do you guys feel about, I guess, this issue? And this also wraps up, the whole story since the first issue of this run as well.
Yes. I thought it ended well. We had a solid, good ending that wrapped up open storylines from other stories from other writers. That's what we just talked about. And no, it was good. The whole thing was good.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely looked great doing it the whole time.
I think the only thing we didn't need was the couple of episodes with Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that was a little forced.
I get why they did it, and I have no problem with it. But it was definitely a little bit out of place compared to the whole. The rest of the whole thing was all about Lu Shi and Xie Shin.
They also weren't very good.
They were fine, but they were just a little bit more They were a little bit kind of placeholdery.
Mm-hmm. Filler.
Yeah. But that's fine, because all comic runs have that. And as placeholdery ones go, they were still fun. The art was great. They had some amazing fights.
Well, how would you feel if we replaced Sabretooth with Shang-Chi.
That
Then
would
that'd
have been
make more
good,
sense.
but Shang-Chi has his own Kun Lun issues.
Does he?
Does he not? Well, the last time I saw him was in Secret Wars, and that was all very about him not really fitting in Kun Lun. But that
was
wasn't...
like an alternate universe, though, wasn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it was
but,
Battle World.
I don't know. It would have been fine. It was kind of nice for it to have it be a proper outsider, and it was good to have it someone who was immune to disease. So I guess that's
exactly.
what Sabretooth works.
That's okay. Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I think we're all satisfied with that then.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really good ending to the arc run, whatever. And
so
interesting to see Damnation.
Talking about the arc as a whole, it did see the payoff with, because this was just about Danny. The Choshin, this attack was just a vehicle to move Danny towards moving forward as a character and casting off some of that baggage. And I appreciate it for that, because when I was reading this issue, I'm like, man, this is really redundant. Didn't we deal with Choshin in the first arc, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did he come back? And I guess it was all in service to Danny. It was never really about Choshin or that feud. Because Choshin was really the weak point for me throughout this whole arc. He was good in the islands, the first chapter, I guess. But after that, he felt redundant and stuff. And the Serpent Society thing was weird. I mean, it was, but it ended really well. I just feel like maybe Choshin could have been done better. I don't think it was written very well. Like, I guess he was very one-trick pony. He'd been acting the same and saying the exact same thing since the second issue, really. And like, you look at the stuff he was saying this issue and the last issue, it's the same stuff again. It's like, oh, women can't fight. I can fight, despite getting his butt kicked. But whatever, he's dead now. He's dragon food, so...
That's right. He'll be dragon poop later.
And screw you, the One. You guys didn't clean up your mess of letting him escape. What the hell's up with that? But whatever. So, yes, to this letters page. Was there anything really in here? I don't think there was. We already talked about the artist. And then
they like the fights. They like the artwork. And then they go into a big explanation about the Doctor Strange Damnation coming up. And rest assured, the comic is focused on Iron Fist himself. Well, and a few familiar faces you may be surprised to see return to Danny's orbit. And over in real life, we're welcoming new artist Damian Corserio, or however you pronounce that, to the pages of the mag. And while we'll miss Mike, believe me when I say Damian's pages are going to knock your socks off. Don't miss issue 78 next month.
Yeah, so we'd probably be covering the first issue of Damnation before that, I imagine, because that comes out the 22nd.
Yeah,
it's part of that big Boogaloo crossover.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that this arc ended on a good note, right?
Yeah,
in a while. Because before this we had Immortal Iron Fist, then we had Power Man and Iron Fist, and it was rough times, but yeah.
My only concern is, are they going to force the relationship that they established in the Netflix show into the comic? Or are we going to see Danny with Sparrow?
With Colleen?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
To be honest, my biggest concern is it doesn't keep running after Damnation. I think it's worth talking about.
The numbers are dropping.
This is almost certainly the story Ed Brisson set out to tell, and he's got to finish it, which is amazing and great. The sales aren't amazing. Other comics with similar sales have been cancelled. We've got we've got Damnation coming up, which is great. The fact they wanted to use Iron Fist is great, because we get these issues out of it. And then it's like, so what next? I mean, like, maybe Brisson has some other stuff to tell. I know the adverts for Damnation, you know, they've been doing these old world adverts, like the sort of 60s, 70s style adverts for the new comics. The one for Damnation refers to the Midnight Sun's return. So, right, or not, but like, maybe with this team up Danny's about to do, maybe that's a new team he can join that isn't Avengers.
Well, he is mystical, so...
Right, so like maybe that's where he goes now. I'm not saying it'll be the end of comics with Danny in. I'm just saying there's a possibility there may not be an Iron Fist solo title, or that the tie-ins from there, they may do like another arc afterwards to see if having him tie in with Doctor Strange has made him more popular, or given him a new direction, or they may want to deal with what happens next. I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, it's another possibility. I mean, you know, like, he's not like Captain America. There's no guarantee that Marvel is always going to have an Iron Fist.
You're right. He's
solo.
not. He's better than Captain America.
I am not going to have that discussion, but you know exactly.
You're barking up the wrong tree with Rebecca on that one.
We're on the Iron Fist podcast, damn it.
I am not arguing with you. Like, I'm not arguing with you. Like, there's a lot of things I like about both characters, but I'm saying in terms of publishing, you can pretty much guarantee there will always be a Captain America title or a comic with Captain America in. We all know that that's not true of Iron Fist. So, it's just when Connor was talking about the other runs we've had a lot of Iron Fist. So, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next. And I don't say that as a sort of, oh my god, doom and gloom. Like, they may very well, like I said, give it another arc afterwards. Like, give us a future. I'm saying that I'm not as worried about the Colleen thing being forced, because I just want to see if there's a comic first.
I mean, but if that's choose between Danny and Colleen hooking up,
is that the Netflix show is still going.
Yes.
And that might be the only reason, even though, but they just canceled Luke Cage. Luke Cage is gone now.
That's my point. They've cancelled the Luke Cage comic, yeah.
That might also have to do something about the writer, but I won't go into that.
Possibly.
No, please
I haven't read the Luke Cage.
Irrelevance in an Iron Fist. No, and Jessica Jones is going to carry on, but Jessica Jones has always been a different kind of thing as well. In that there's not been many Jessica Jones comics, and she's about to get her first female writer, which will be interesting. And
Daredevil's blowback.
And, you know, I posted on the page, Iron Fist made a brief appearance in Daredevil this week as graffiti.
Awesome. So did Moon Knight.
Yep. It was very cool. And Spidey.
I'm that crazy. I'm just awake.
Yeah. That was great.
I laughed.
It's cute. So we'll see what happens. Because apparently in Daredevil 600, which is the anniversary issue they're going towards, I think there's like a couple more. Apparently Moon Knight's going to be in that. I just heard on the Moon Knight podcast. So maybe Iron Fist might pop up in that as well. I don't know.
Well, wasn't Iron Fist in 500? I think he was. Was it a wraparound cover with them in a huge fight scene?
He was on the cover. I don't think he was in the issue itself. I could be wrong though. But yeah.
Good times.
Sorry, I'll share that later. Cool. Well, we all enjoyed the issue. This was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
We will see you guys again soon.
Very soon, 21st of February-ish, if not before.
Yep, they've made a motion poster, which is pretty awesome as well, so we'll link that on the page. And yeah, well, until next time, may your plagues become like unto things of puke.
Nice. Take care, everyone.
Peace.
Later.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. Doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor Carl, just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. And I would like to thank Thomas Tissot for letting us use his Iron Fist theme song for the start of our show. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.